Hi, Voice Explainer here. Today I'm going to explain a movie named Lucy. The movie starts and we hear a voice. We were given a life billions of years ago, so what did we do? Now we are shown a girl named Lucy who was standing with her friend. He shows her a bag and says, "You have go to inside that hotel and give it to a man. In return we will get $1,000, but Lucy says, in such a small amount, I will not do this. When Lucy refuses him, he ties that suitcase with the handcuff on Lucy's hand and tells to her go inside. Now she has to listen to her friend and had come inside the hotel. Comes to the reception and asks about the man named Mr. Zhang. At that time some people comes there who shoots Lucy's friend at the door of the hotel. They caught Lucy and brought her to hotel room. Mr. Zhang comes there and his hands were soaked in blood. He comes and washes his hands and asks Lucy, "Tell me, what is in his suitcase?" Lucy gets scared to see him and starts crying. He says, "I don't know what's in it. Only my friend had asked me to give you the suitcase." Now he hides by telling the code of that suitcase and asks Lucy to open it. She asks what is in it. "Is it a bomb?" Mr. Zhang says, "It is possible. I don't trust your friend at all. He can do anything." Lucy gets scared and refuses to open it. When Mr. Zhang's man points a gun at her, she gets scared and says, wait, I will open it." Now when she opens that suitcase with the code, she gets 4 packets of blue color. It was some kind of substance, and to test that substance, Mr. Zhang's man bring a man. When he tells that substance, he starts acting and was laughing loudly. Mr. Zhang doesn't like that man at all. He kills him in front of Lucy with a bullet. Mr. Zhang says to Lucy, "I want to give you a job." Lucy says, "No, I don't want to do any job. Let me go from here." Then Mr. Zhang's man hit Lucy. She fainted. Then we see a professor telling everyone in this lecture that every animal on earth can use only 3% of their brain, but humans are the most advanced in these things. They used 10% of their brain. Dolphins are more advanced than humans, and they used 20% of their brain, means that are more intelligent than humans. The professor says if a human uses 20% of his brain, then he can completely control his body, and if a human's brain starts working up to 14%, then he can control the person in front of him. A boy sitting in the audience asks, "Sir, what will happen if a human can use 100% of his brain?" The professor says, "I don't even know what will happen then." When Lucy regains consciousness, she had bandages on her stomach and she was in pain. She thinks that they have taken out of a part of her body. When she was leaving, a few people come there and take her with them. They bring her in front of Zhang. Lucy asks that, "What you did to me? Tell me." The doctor says, "Don't worry, we didn't do anything to you. We just cut your stomach and put a packet of substance in it." Now 3 more people are brought there and the same substance was kept in their stomach. Actually, these 4 had to deliver the substance at different places, and if any of them tried to move forward, then their families will be killed. Zhang's men put a cloth on their faces and take them away. After it, Lucy finds herself in a closed room where there was a man for whom Lucy had brought that substance, but he tries to misbehave with her. When she refuses him, that man started beating Lucy. He drops her down and beats her in her stomach. Because of this, the packet of Lucy's stomach was busted. Now as the substance was in her blood, Lucy's body begins to feel strange. She starts suffering and her body was floating in the air. When she regains consciousness, Lucy becomes normal. She was not the same Lucy before. When that man comes to her again, who was trying to misbehave with her before, she beats him a lot and came out of that place. She comes out and kills all the people sitting there. In this fight, Lucy was also shot, but she easily takes that bullet off her body. It looked as if she didn't feel anything. Now Lucy comes out in that place and kills some more people with her gun. Then she takes a taxi to the hospital where some doctors were operating a patient. She sees the patient brain on the screen, after which she kills him and tells the doctor that this man was going to die. But how did Lucy know that he was going to die? Maybe it was the effect of that substance under her brain was working 20% now. She points a gun on the doctor and says, "There is a packet of substance in my stomach. Do my operation quickly and take the substance out." The doctor gets scared when he sees the gun. He had no other option but to listen to Lucy. After which Lucy calls her mom and says, "Mom, I can feel everything. This wind, sound of the ground, the sound inside me." Even remember all the things of my childhood, how I get grew up. Lucy starts crying while talking to her mom, and she thanks her for giving her so much love. The doctor now does her operation and had taken out the packets from her stomach. That's so much of CPH4 substance in such amount. The doctor was surprised and worried that if this substance has been added to Lucy, then how is she still alive? Lucy says to the doctor that I can't stay alive for long. She now gets well and goes back to the Jang and kills all the men one by one. After that, she goes to the Jang, stabs the knife in both his hands and asks him that tell me where are the other men in those stomachs who had kept the substance. But when Janks doesn't answer her, she starts reading his mind, by which Lucy came to know about the location of those men where they were spent. Actually, Lucy's brain was working more than the limits. Because of that substance, she could even see how trees grow from the ground and how they get their food. Now Lucy goes to her friend's house where she uses her laptop to find out about the professor whom we saw at the beginning of the story. The one who was giving a lecture on the brain. His name was Samuel. He was doing research on the human brain for last 20 years. She finds everything about him and calls him. Lucy tells him that I have read 7,000 pages on your website. I have read all the research which I remember by tongue. But Professor Samuel didn't believe her. The next moment Lucy is on Professor Samuel's TV screen because she had used 28% of her brain. Now she could control all the electronic things. Lucy tells him that whatever you have written in your research, everything is correct. I have a lot of things in my mind. What should I do with them? I know a lot of things. So Professor Samuel says then you should tell all this to other people. Lucy wanted to meet Professor Samuel. First of all, she changes her getup and goes to the airport where she meets the men who had the substance in their stomach. She informs this to the police and has also sent their picture to the scare screen. After which the police starts to work and catch those people. Lucy had used 14% of her brain and the cells in her body starts breaking and her skin was burning. She hides from everyone and locks herself in the washroom and she started the packet of drug. After eating it, she becomes unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself in the hospital. Now she was able to use 15% of her brain. The police comes there who had come to arrest Lucy, but Lucy uses her power. She had made all police there unconscious except for the inspector. Professor Samuel had said that when a person uses more than 14% of his brain, he can control others, and the same was happening with Lucy. The reason was that she was increasing the amount of substance in her body. Her brain was able to work as much as possible. Those people who were caught taken to the hospital so that the substance can be taken out from their stomachs. Lucy also goes to the hospital with the inspector. We can see Lucy's brain power had increased so much that now she can able to listen to the phone calls of the entire city. That's when she finds out the people of Jiang have also reached the hospital. Lucy also reaches the hospital quickly and the people of Jiang were already present there. She stands while pointing her gun, but they can't stay in front of Lucy for long. She blows them away like a chopper in the air and their weapons were stuck on the roof like a magnet. She removes every person who comes to in front of her, who hits the wall, and there were holes in the wall too. Lucy now takes that bag from them which had the substance that she had taken from the doctor. She also tells the inspector come with her. After seeing all this, he says to Lucy, I don't think you will need my help anymore. She comes to the inspector and says, you are like a reminder for me which I always want to remember. Come on, come with me. Now Lucy goes to meet Professor Samuel, but Jiang had seen her going. He too now follows her with his men. At the same time, we see Professor Samuel, who had called all doctors and professors experts in their research. Now Lucy had also come there. Professor Samuel introduces Lucy to everyone. Everyone was quite surprised to meet her. The professor had a doubt on Lucy. She captures him and tells him about him. She says when your daughter was 6 years old, then her death was due to the car accident. He was surprised to hear this because no one knew about till today. Because of this, everyone starts believing in Lucy. She starts giving information of everyone there about which she knows everything. She also starts changing mutant in her hand. Sometimes her hand was dangerous like a witch and sometimes she was changing one hand into two hands Everyone was surprised to see this. Lucy was that we have also been taught that 1 plus 1 is 2. Actually, there are no numbers. These numbers are made by humans to explain themselves so that they can understand things easily. Professor Samuel says if the world does not work on mathematics, then how does it work? Lucy explains to him that there is a car which is driving very fast. While driving, it starts driving speedily. That it was not visible, it will not be visible, but it must be driving. Actually, only time is important. Time without time, we do not exist. That is why Jang and his people come there. They surround the building from all sides. Inspector Lucy says, we will not be able to stop them for long. Lucy now puts the drips of CPH4 substance in her body, which she brought from the hospital. She tells the professor that I will make a computer and I will save all my information in it. After that, you can store it in a pen drive which can be useful for the welfare of humans in the future. Professor knew that after taking such a high dose of substance, Lucy will not able to be survive, and Lucy also knew this, but now she was ready to sacrifice herself. She uses 70% of her brain. After that, she uses all the metals and energy in the room and makes a huge computer in which she was going to store all the information. Later, she uses 18% of her brain to make a computer which could store such knowledge. Lucy uses her brain to such extent that she reached the other part of time. That means she could travel in time. After that, she goes back thousands of years ago and reaches the dinosaurs era. On the ground, when she goes back a little more than that time, she reached the time when there was no human existence. Only a few humans were there, but that too as animals. Now Lucy comes back. As she was using her brain, her body was disappearing. When she uses 99% of her brain, then she reaches the sky at the time when this part of the earth was formed. Now Jang had also come there, but before killed Lucy, she uses 100% of her brain and disappeared. The inspector comes there who had killed Jang. Lucy comes to the professor and gives a pen drive in which she had stored all the data of her brain. The inspector asks Lucy, where are you? Then they receive the message, I am everywhere. At the end of the story, we hear the same voice which we heard at the beginning of the story, that we were given life of billions years ago. But what did we do with it? What did we understand about our life? We have been given advanced computer, and that is our brain. But we use our body to earn money, but only a few people can understand their brain. With this, the story of this movie ends here. Thank you for watching.